My bad. I gotta correct somebody right now. Like, man, everything's a troll these days. It's just so tiring. So tiring. But anyways, this your boy at Big Game James underscore 36. And this is Big Games B.S. brought to you by Den Media Group. Presented, well, my bad. I don't know if I said this wrong. Presented by Den Media Group, brought to you by Alpha Male AlphaMaleJax.com is a go-to website clinic in Duval. But if you're not in Duval, there's a way to be able to get Dr. Holdhouse and Christina to be able to help you out. Just go to Alpha Male Jax or just hit me up and I can make sure I set you up with those things. Basically, man, we got to become the best version of ourselves. I am searching social media, and it is way too much estrogen out here in this world. You need to go get your levels checked. Some of you guys are lacking proper testosterone. And I think you might not just necessarily need to have T replacement or T hormone therapy. You may need some other things that come in, and just my job is to make sure we connect you with the best. Go get your blood panels done. Check out all of the different things and the services that we have. Um, it can help you function better, help you grow bigger, help you do all these things. And if you need to get a little bit bigger because you're lacking the confidence, you could probably go to Andrew Mangus and Dr. G will help enlarge your P. So there's all kinds of different things that we can go, but you can get from Alpha Male Jacks. But go there. The goal for the rest of 2023 going into football season is to live your best life going into 2024 and to live it more abundantly, especially if you're over 30 years old. Or as I am now slowly approaching, I am I am two more sleeps. I'm two sleeps away from being 365 days for being 40. So like I'm counting down to 40. I think I'm officially old. But hey, it is what it is. That's what we got. Alpha Male Jackson's going. My goal is to live my 40s as hard as I did my 30s. Because 30 was dope. I'm telling you guys. For a lot of us men, 30 is the sweet spot. It gets better for you after 30, especially if you're hardworking. You do a little bit, just stack your change a little bit. I'm telling you, don't get caught in the rigmarole and the hustle of I have to have it right now. Just know it gets better. Oh, inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas. Back here, been gone for a week, or about a week. So we're back here now doing the show. We'll do our show again on Wednesday on my birthday, live from Goodfellas, and then Friday I'm gonna try to figure out how I'm gonna do it. I may be on the road or something. Tallahassee is Lisa. I love you to death, Lisa. That's my homie right there. But I need you to go on YouTube. I don't get no credit for that thing on Facebook. I need you to go to Den Media Group on YouTube. But oh, that's tough. Chauncey Gardner Johnson just got hurt. Um, but anyways, come to Goodfellas. If you're a member of the All In package, you get a membership here to Goodfellas. You get a locker, all kinds of other different things. You know, yeah. So housekeeping, as we have been talking about for seemingly forever, but it's actually now coming to an end. But we have my fourth annual book bag drive coming up in Tallahassee this next weekend. I spend my birthday. This is my birthday gift to myself. Oh, shout out to Jim. Jim's dope. Me and Jim, we gotta get together, Jim. Like if I get some of these things going, Jim, if I remember correct, Jim does sports too, and he's been listening. He's listened to the Den for quite some time, back in the day, and I appreciate that. Appreciate you becoming a member, man. That means a lot. Um, again, the monies that you put into the what's up, Bert? The monies that go into the YouTube channel go toward buying book bags. And so we just got a big push this weekend. One part of it was we got our YouTube distribution, which is why I tell you guys, I need you to watch YouTube. Facebook doesn't give me a distribution. Twitter doesn't either anymore. Maybe Elon will change some shit now that he's made it. Oh, my bad. It's no longer Wait, is it Twitter still or is it X? So I'm confused. He got rid of the bird, but whatever. It's your mama names you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. Like, so it's Twitter until further notice. But We had two big donors. I'm gonna say that in a minute, but the goal is 3,600 book bags. We are 700 book bags short. $36 a bag. For the $36, a kid can get a book bag. They get about a week's worth of groceries. There's also a football and speed camp that we will be doing afterwards on that Sunday, all free to the Jits. Love it. You can go to jamescolemangivesback.com to register to get a book bag. You can go to there to register for a book bag, register for the camps, or if you would like to volunteer for the camp or the book bag drive, that's also needed. We need to give away the bags. We also need to be able to have people to be able to service the families. That's a big deal for me, and I would appreciate all the help. For those who want to know, like we just did our Orlando drive this past weekend. We gave away we have 450 book bags that I took down there. We had about 150 pre-registered, but we had 300 people actually actively come and get book bags. We ended up leaving about another 100 bags to the school for them to be able to distribute to the students when they get there. And then I gave another 50 to my aunt's nonprofit. Not excuse me, she has a church, so they're gonna go into the Sanford, Florida area and give and give away bags to their parishioners and people in the community. I'd like to thank my boy Ebo for coming through, former FSU football player, also a civic, a statesman. He's not a politician; he's a statesman. I support him. He was one of the youngest city council members ever in Claremont history. Here's a picture of just what a book bag drive looks like. You see the people there, bright faces. Oh, sweet, sweet. Um, Nice. We're gonna work the hell out of our son though on Sunday. Shout out to my guy Jason, who actually set up everything for Orlando. Um, he this is why I always tell people I go where I'm asked. So he got put on a Pulte, which is a big developer in the state of Florida. He got put on their board for the community service, and the first thing he did was he reached out to me. So when he reached out to me, I said, man, sure, just set it up. We'll do everything. And what a lot of people don't realize, one of the hardest things in doing this is people promising stuff and then never and not delivering. And I don't think people understand how much of a headache that is because I make decisions based upon those things. And one thing I would say with him is that Pulte kind of pulled out, but he made sure we had all the volunteers that we needed. He made sure that this event went really well. This is somebody that I only know through social media. So when y'all are bitching about social media and the influences and all these different things, this guy only knows me from my coverage of Florida State, only knows me from playing at Florida State, and really was the MVP and made a lot of things happen. He's volunteered when we were working on booths a couple years ago at FSU game. He picks up his family. They drove to the tailgate in New Orleans on a whim. He'll be in Orlando. We had all kinds of good stuff, and I can't wait to go back and do this again in Orlando. Hopefully next year we'll have that bitch at 1,000, and we'll have the food rocking. Shout out to my guy DJ Soldier who does the music for me in Jacksonville, and he went down to Orlando, did it. And also big shout outs to Brittany Christie, who just got engaged to a former No and Northern Alabama football player, but we all know his brother very well. You all know Ernie Sims. She just got engaged to Ernie Sims' younger brother, Marcus Sims. So congratulations to Brittany. If you know me, you know Brittany is really the person who kind of makes the whole thing go through. So again, go to jamescolemangivesback.com if you would like to register for the Tallahassee event coming up this weekend. We should be having announcements coming soon about who will be helping with the football camp and who will be doing a lot of the other stuff. But as I said, I want to make sure I make this announcement. I'm a big guy on giving thanks and giving props. First and foremost, if you gamble, only gamble at Best Bet poker rooms in Jacksonville because they just dropped 2,000. They have literally sponsored every event. And again, it just goes back to doing things the right way. One of their executives' sons played lacrosse. Actually, all of her boys play. I trained all three of her sons, or coached all three of her sons. And it probably Best Bet Jacks, I think, is the website. But she she made sure that we got a check. And I had just asked her, and I hadn't heard from her. I didn't know. And now I gotta go. I'm gonna thank her too personally, but I come home, I open the mailbox, and I see a letter from Best Bet Jacksonville to MFTK Foundation. Thank y'all for giving me $2,000. That's roughly about, I think, about 56, between 56 to 60 bags that came from there. But another guy that I want to talk about. This is his second year donating to the book bag drive. Very good guy. Um, a lot of people, a guy who understands it, who gets it, and that's a one coach, Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell donated to the book bag drive last year. I told him about the book bag drive this year. Just said, hey man, all I want is a simple retweet, bro. And he did it one step bigger. He donated 100 book bags. I greatly appreciate it. And then he sent this year. He didn't send me as much words. Last year, I mean, that motherfucker filled that whole card up. And because a lot of us, we're getting elder. He's over 40. He's around the same age as me. When you don't write, everybody we type and we text everything. So writing means a lot. So it's hard to read all this stuff last year, but he said, thank you for all you do. Keep climbing. You know, Mike Norvell and everything. So like him and his wife do tremendous things. Keep Climbing Family Foundation is who they did it through. They've done, I think, well, a lot of people bitch about the name, image, and likeness. What Mike Norvell's been able to do through name, image, and likeness is support the things that his players care about, right? Which I think is big. Mike is able to support the things that his guys care about in a manner like in Mississippi, a lot of the relief through the foundation, he was able to do a lot of these things. And through his foundation, he's able to do what he does in Tallahassee. I just like to personally thank him. Also, thank you for winning, because now I get to really talk about you in a great manner. Yeah. It's hard to do your job when you like it's hard to do your job really, really well when you like somebody. But it's easier to do your job when they're actually doing their job to a high level. And I don't think, no trolling, a lot of Gator fans aren't really understanding. Like they're like, oh, he's a loser, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, we won 10 games last year. And we're gonna probably win minimum 10 games again this year. Like I understand he took it. And the coolest thing is he's also done a great job of giving back. He gave me 2 interviews when he didn't have to give me interviews. And I ain't gonna lie, during that time, I'll never forget, because it took a Gator to tell me how hard I was on him. And when we went 3-6, I said, the only times he said, Denny told me, how many times you gonna remind this man that he went 3-6? And what people don't, but the thing is, what he understood is that, and what he's seen, because he follows social media, I am literally the same person on and off camera. In fact, I might be a little wilder off social media and off camera, because I do have a filter, believe it or not. I don't ever say the first thing that comes on my mind, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things that I am doing. Last night, if you were in Jacksonville, you saw me. It's my suit, my new, where I wear my suit once a week. I gotta keep my hair did. Got to get my training camp starts for the Jags on Wednesday, which I've been promising you guys. Shit goes slow, but we will be having more Jaguar related content. Training camp starts Wednesday. I will probably be out at training camp a few of the days. I ain't going out there every day because I'm not playing no more. But I will be going out there to try to get some cool things. And I think Miles, you said you're gonna work on a reel for the book bag drive we just did. So you'll see a reel coming up here shortly for that. But we'll probably have some cool Jaguars behind the scene content that you'll only see because it's from my phone, and nobody else is gonna post it. So yeah. So before we getting into that, football season is around the corner in general. So with me, I'm going to confuse a lot of you people. Um, I have young sons, and I am a big fan of my young sons. And my son plays for University Christian Athletic Association. So if I'm talking about coach, I may be talking about like right now. I think all three are going to be good. I think UCAA would be good. I think Florida State would be good. I think the Jags are going to be good. My life in the fall, this will be the best fall that I've had in quite some time. Now, with that being said, don't get it confused. Everything ain't about you or about your team or about stuff going on. But University Christian Athletic Association played a scrimmage. Our 12U team is really, really good. And they played against another really, really good association out of Jacksonville called the Duval Jags. Now, the Duval Jags lost. And this is why we got some cats on our 12U team. So my son got a lot of work to be as good as some of these guys, but these kids is balling. We got a quarterback that threw this ball on the line. I want to show this because it was I want to give props to these young men on my platform. Really, really dope. Let's go ahead and show them spin that ball. It's 4th and goal from the 25. That boy threw that thing almost 25 yards at 12. Young man moss somebody, does his little dance. We beat the hell out of them. And they're one of the better teams. Now, what I want to say is this about all of this. One of my fears in football, in particular Pop Warner football, is the element that surrounds it. It's a lot of hood shit that goes down in it. And these are children at the end of the day. I'm a winner. I practice winning. I don't believe in losing. But at the end of the day, I'm also not about to put my kid in a situation where people are acting like their fucking jobs are on the line. Like somebody's just losing the paycheck because they did all of these different things. So I have a problem. My son is not hood. He's not from the hood. He's never been about that life. And it's going to be another theme through the show. I worked very, very hard for my son to not have to be about that life. And I've worked very, very hard for me to not have to be about that life. One of the things that a lot of people who have been in fisticuffs and a lot of action, we work really, really hard to avoid situations. Pop Smoke had a great, unfortunately, he passed, but had a great quote. Tough guys don't act tough around tough guys because somebody can get hurt. They know that they're tough. So what happens is typically the person who's untough that has to do all of the talking. And then what happens is you might meet somebody who will match your energy. And in particular, as I have seen personally, I'm not blaming women, but we just, women, y'all got to realize that this misogynistic culture gives you a lot of grace, and y'all get a lot of people fucked up. I almost had to fuck somebody up as a coach one day because and it wasn't that man. That man's not a tough guy. He's not a bad person. That doesn't make him a bad person either. But that man had to go do something because his ex-wife or his baby mama and her mom gassed that motherfucker up to come to me, and he almost got his lights punched out. Luckily, a woman did step in that feminine, because feminine energy can also quell situations. But it can also fuel situations. Y'all have to understand your fucking power. But in this situation, these young men got their asses whooped on the football field, and instead of adults coming in and saying, take your L with grace, they decided that they wanted to fight. And our University Christian Athletic Association, which is not about that hood shit, but can get about that hood shit, did some hood shit. They beat the fuck out of them boys on the field and off the field. And I was proud of the call I got. At first, I'm still not mad at them. We didn't bring it to them. They brought it to us. Then apparently a female decided to put her hands. This is why I didn't want to put my son in it, because I don't want to put myself in situations where my freedom is going to be at risk. I may lose some endorsements. If I whoop the fuck out of somebody, I already know I'm not going to be on First Coast News anymore. I still have this platform because guns, alcohol, and tobacco finance the Coleman household. It is very hard for me to lose those. And I always tell people, it's pretty good business over there. We're working on it to show other people good business, but I also don't push the envelope. Hell, I was just talking about about ratchet shit with Scott right before we got on here. But the reason why I bring that up is because almost a year ago to the date, we saw a situation where this gets out of hand, where guys who have worked their asses off to be able to put themselves in better positions and to be able to better their community and to be able to better kids' lives did something that was absolutely asinine from a Pop Warner game. Aqib Talib, a really, really good corner, and a guy who made millions and millions of dollars, ran. I hope he doesn't do it anymore. A Pop Warner team. Now it was a Pop Warner team in his neighborhood. He is from that neighborhood, and he actually employs a lot of former and current probably gang members. And what they did was there was a loss. They didn't like the celebration, so what they did was they escalated the situation to where another black man died because of a Pop Warner fucking football game. What kind of life are you living where you feel you got to be holding at a Pop Warner fucking football game? And he went over there and they were jumping the guy, and then the guy ended up getting shot. And now Aqib Talib, the brother of Aqib Talib, agreed to plead guilty to a murder charge for the fatal shooting of a youth football coach during a scrimmage game last year. He faces 37 years over a flag football game. And it wasn't the flag football game that caused the guy to get shot. It was the reactions of the fucking adults. And this is what the kids are looking for. And now what ends up happening is, I believe Aqib is a father. That a father is lost. His life is lost. He's at least my age. He gets 37 years. You'll be 67 when you get out, because they're going to make you serve every minute of that. Aqib can now no longer probably coach and do things to affect the community in the positive manner in which he was doing. A football coach who was also a father is dead. And most importantly, there's a minimum of 50 to 60 young men who were on that football field who saw somebody get murdered over a fucking game. We are supposed to be teaching young men and women when they're in their situations as coaches how to handle adversity. This is not it. This is not life and death. While it is something that you can aspire to become professional at this moment, all this is a game. Some of these kids may have maxed out on their puberty already. It is not life and death, which is why I do condemn the fighting, but I also condemn the way that a lot of you parents handle and act at these fucking games. And it's us as black people. Ratchet, ignorant, and violence is not black people. Anybody can do it, but the fucking problem is we've embraced this shit as that's part of our lifestyle because of where we're from, because of our small town, because of our neighborhood. It's not just a black problem, it's an American problem. And as you listen to the course of the show, you're going to see where a lot of this stupid shit continues to get perpetuated in a lot of other areas. But I need to speak on that because I saw that last week, and it's bad. But the cool thing is that there are aspects of our culture that are so positive that you can't help but want to be a part of it. If you click on, not that one, we got that, but and then there's just moments, and what I do hate, and this is going to confuse a lot of fucking people, because one, I love confusing people because people don't know if I'm liberal or conservative, which is great. That means I'm actually a true free thinker. But play this clip right here. There's no sound in this clip, one. So I'm going to narrate it. But you see a genuine moment. What makes people love sports. This young man is getting a chance to go see a quarterback that he actually likes and that he idolizes. Now, I don't know why. He doesn't play quarterback that well right now, but he's a good athlete, and this is what kids do. I remember Snoop Dogg posted something. It's hard to be racist when your kid's favorite rapper is black. So, but play this video, because this is what's the beautiful thing about sports. It reminds me of the Dr. Pepper commercial when the guy throws his shirt at the white kid, and this jersey, and the kid's like, he's like, "Here, kid," or what? Me and Joe Greer, yeah. But play this. He's got a little white boy here in a jersey, daps up Justin Fields. Justin Fields does what a lot of us do when we see a little person. You got to pick him up, especially Justin's not that big. So he sees somebody smaller than him, you pick him up. He comes in. Justin's got his hair braided. He's got the baseball player glasses on. The young white kid, he's got the Justin Fields jersey on. He's got his hair braided and he's got glasses on. It is fucking pure. Doesn't that look good? Yeah, exactly. It's just adorable. I've been around. I've trained a bunch of white kids. I remember when I first got into it was the Odell Beckham phenomenon. Do you know what all the white kids did when the Odell Beckham phenomenon came around? They did their hair like Odell Beckham. Everybody was falling backwards trying to catch a pass. It was great. Do you know what happened when Cam Newton was loved by everybody? All the white boys had the Cam Newton Under Armour cleats. And oh my goodness, it's just great. It's one of the beautiful things about e pluribus unum. Out of many, we are one. We influence each other the proper way. There is nothing bad about this, right? Wrong. Somebody found something bad about this situation. A prominent Michigan-based journalist and sports host has reached out to the Bears over her concerns of a video that carries racist undertones. Oh. As white parents, we need to educate white parents need to educate their children on what is exclusively black culture. I was at a loss. I tweeted out, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was something sinister. I was trying to listen, but there's no video, there's no sound on it. The kid didn't come up, which, by the way, in that scenario, had the young man came up, we could have corrected him because you can't use that word. But if he would have came up and said, hey, what up, Mike? It was no malice in that. Like, context is everything. That looked like a kid who was super excited to see one of his favorite football players. Probably waited in line. And Justin probably said, yo, Jit look like me. Yeah. Because when you step back and you really look at it, like Jit literally got Justin. Does Justin have the only thing he got the quarterback thing because Justin, he doesn't know he's a kid. He's cosplaying. My son, my 4-year-old, wants to dress like Spider-Man every fucking day. He doesn't realize that Spider-Man wears regular clothes sometimes too. But Justin Fields normally has a QB sleeve on, like with the play call sheet. And so the kid had the play call sheet on. That's okay. That's the only thing. But I'm sitting here like, because he got his hair braided? What do you think white people do when they go to Jamaica and Africa all the time do? They always get their hair braided. When I see a white boy with dreads, I don't say, hey, that's ours. No, I see somebody who wanted to go through the journey. It's fucking tough. There's a black girl right now crying about her dreads because she go through the ugly phase. If you're willing to go through the ugly phase with dreads, God bless. Go do your thing, brother. Because the reality is, Justin Fields is American. I don't really care how you feel about it. You could say he's African-American, black, whatever. He's American. And that's not just an American style. We got that from Africa. He's culturally appropriating that too. But we make shit cool. And do you know what happens when you make shit cool? People emulate it. That's what being cool is about. That's what having the sauce and being drippy. No, I got other things too. You know who listens to the most gangster rap? So I've coached at but I still do. But I coached lacrosse at Bowles High School. Bowles High School costs, I think, close to $30,000 a year to go to. I got news for you. You know what's not a lot? There's not a lot of black kids that go to Bowles. I coach at Mandarin High School, which is on a very decent side of the really affluent side of town. But because Jacksonville has full school choice, kids can go anywhere. So we got kids from the hood mixed in with other stuff. But we got a lot of black kids on our team at Mandarin with football. They listen to rap. A lot of it we tolerate. Man, when I tell you these Bowles kids listen to the most gangster fucking rap that I've ever heard, you would think they parents are selling bricks. You would think they got to lacrosse themselves out the hood. I love it. I also love how they self-edit themselves. It's awesome. But like, Ah, tell dog, you motherfucker, you're skipping chapters, baby. You're skipping chapters. But the crazy part is that Justin Fields. You said what? Facts. You're right. I forgot. So yeah, that's right. But why? And even then, like the only thing, but Mike, if you, I know you're not, you're gonna listen, but you ain't gonna. I know what you're talking about. We're gonna sit down when I get a good chance to interview you the way I want to interview you. We're gonna talk about that, and I want you to tell me the truth. Mike said, "Well, the little black kids that I was mentoring." I told them if they did something right, then I would get my hair. No, white Mike. Mike, that was you. It's okay. See, that's the only thing again, this goes into something I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. This is where it becomes a problem, white people. We all grow, right? We all grow. I used to have a high top box fade, like Kid and Play. But that was you at that moment, Mike. Just embrace it. It's cool. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. Fuck what them old ass white boosters gonna say with you. Like, we need you to explain away these braids, Mike. Nah, man. Fuck them old curmudgeons, man. Tell them the truth. That shit cool as shit. I think Mike should lead with that when he goes into the hood. You come into the, hey man, you can go play for Saban that wears nothing but penny loafers, and and even though Saban cool as shit. Shout out to my guy Jamie French. He just committed to Bama. Broke my heart a little bit, but I knew it was coming. So whatever. But he said you can go play for this guy who don't understand the culture, but I am the culture. My name is White Mike. That's what they call me. Because if you're a white person and you've been called whatever your name is with white in front of it, you have been embraced and accepted by the culture. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing I don't like is when people don't embrace it when they become something. But that's just not a white person thing. That's a black person thing too. There's a lot of colors that don't embrace where they came from, but there is racism in America. It does happen. It's the reason why is because again, e pluribus unum. We're the only country that has this shit. You know why Russia doesn't have racism like that? They're all fucking Russian. And that ain't just by title. It ain't very many other people besides pasty pale motherfuckers in Russia. You know why Germans are German? They actually had a problem with racism. Germans were so racist, they tried to eradicate a whole bunch of people. Oh no, I'm not cutting my dreads. I will not. Man. The only time I cut my dreads is if I start looking like my boy Dibby. And I'm not that stressed. I drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, mind my business. But there's some, I think a lot of times it's really just people don't realize that we are literally all the same in a lot of ways. But there's people who are afraid of shit for no reason. I'm afraid of sharks and killer whales. I'm not going in the fucking ocean. There is a reason. But I don't have to hate them. I can just not fuck with them. I don't go I don't fuck where they at. Yeah. And like right now, ain't no shark or killer whale gonna kill me on land. So I have no reason to dislike them. I know what they about, and I don't go mess with them. Live your life. I don't if I don't understand, just like them people. I don't know what to call them no more, but I don't understand them, but I have no reason to dislike them. Do what you want to do. Fuck who you want to fuck as long as you're not fucking me. But we'll get into that. But this is one of the things we can all love is that football season is coming. We can all, at least a lot of the people who are listening to my channel, all 2,200 of you, I needed to be 3,000 so I can give away some free tickets. We can all relate to the passion of a cute kid speaking what's on our mind. If you go to the football season. Oh, my bad. Actually, yeah, play this first. But I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody wanted to be this guy. So, like, you can, like, we all wanted to say curse words and yell at shit. I thought, well, it's kind of like this, but not really. I did think college football was like this. I got white teammates who wanted to be like the greatest football player to ever play fictionally. Even though he's patterned after Marvin Jones, senior, who played at Florida State. And when you see Marvin and you see this guy, you'll kind of get it. But just play this. We'll play a little bit of it. But it's an amazing scene. He got hurt in the movie. If you've never watched it, it was sad. I cried.
Hey, 23. Don't think I don't recognize you, fool.
Okay, as long as they can hear it, that's all that matters.
Butt motherfucker. Hey, pay attention when I'm talking to you, nigga.
What?
You the guy who shot my mother, aren't you?
Shut up, man. You knew I never knew your mother.
Huh? You trying to steal a fucking car, you cocksucker. You didn't think I was gonna find you, did you? But I got you now, nigga. I'm gonna bust your gun open and watch you die. You white boy ratted my brother out, send him in jail. Get that fucking money to run. Let the blood to do the time. You the little bastard. Telling you my brother's thing to sell me. I'm gonna make you pay. You hear me, Papa? I'm gonna make you myself.
Mayday! Mayday!
You're gonna have 250 pounds of pissed off nigga up your ass. Yeah, I know you, motherfucker. I got my baby sister pregnant. Ain't seen you around lately. Where you been, huh? Oh,
I encourage everybody
to behind that mask now. Answer me, motherfucker, before I feel your down. Hey, 23. Don't think I don't recognize you, butt motherfucker.
But this is how he hyped himself up. I know a lot of white people who wanted to be like this guy, and there's no reason to not want to be. He was a very great fictional linebacker. It's like imagine Bobby Boucher hits, but with a person that speaks a little bit better English, and it's crazy, but whatever. But we all can relate to cute kids. If you go down, yeah, this is one right here. And no, you don't got to post that, but just this part. But like, this was really one of the cutest moments he was. I think this was like 6 years ago. But my oldest son is always like football, and it's hard to explain things to kids in a manner in which he didn't understand it. But I think, again, this is something that we can all relate to. You don't have to have a black child to relate to this, I don't think. You can have you can have a Mexican child. If you like football or you like your sports, you can relate to the purity in this young man's voice.
Football. I want football. Daddy, I want football.
He was just a young man. I didn't have. It was in March. I didn't have anything to show him. I almost cried. I felt like I failed as a father. I didn't have any football to show this kid, and that's the point where I think a lot of us are right now. We need something. We need a distraction. Rome needs her gladiators. We need football so that we can stop spazzing out about shit that doesn't matter. But because there's so much into football, the NFL has figured it out. The NFL has made a year-round calendar, basically. And as a guy who covers it, I've never stopped working. Really, the month of July is really the only month where, for most of it, where I don't do anything football related. Outside of, a little bit off-season conditioning, but NFL's done a good job. But 247 Sports does this thing, and it's hilarious. And they basically bit it off because most people are regurgitating. They bit it off a Key and Peele skit. But they did the 247 all-name team for the 2023 college football season, and some of these names are great. It makes me mad that I have just a normal name. James Coleman. It's a lot of them. I actually know 3 James Anthony Coleman II. I was actually talking about one of the James. I went to school with them, with them. And they got us. What's wild is, so James and William Coleman have a sister named Jamie Coleman, which is the younger sister, and she's an attorney. So people think that my sister is Jamie Coleman. I had no fucking idea that was their sister until a year ago. But anyways, General Booty is a great name. That's a quarterback at Oklahoma. Cavassier Smoke. Dakotas Crawford. D.E. Cold Ist. Not to be outdone. D.A. What is that? Not hyphen, apostrophe. What is that thing? Yeah, these are real names. The realest Crawford. The realest Clark. Fat Watts is a fullback. Rowdy Beers. Not to be outdone by Parker Titsworth. Panda Askew. Tiger Shanks. Fish McWilliams. Octavius Oxidine. This Boston College D lineman. I don't know how else. I'm sure he's Muslim, and there's probably a better way to say this. But Shitta Salah. Shitta Salah. Chief Borders used to go to the University of Florida. I remember him. But nothing memorable, like memorable factor. Pig cage. You know, if you're in a cage, you lack mobility. Kool-Aid McKinstry, which is actually a really good, like he's one of the top corners in the nation. Storm Duck, Major Burns, Dude Person, and I'll just say the last one, Max von Marburg. It's hilarious, man. Hilarious. Like these names. And again, like you got just a little bit of the Key and Peele skit just so this is what makes football dope. Like it's like you literally have names that you're like, yo, there's no way that person went through life. Like, because we used to laugh, like, so in Tallahassee, while you're getting that ready, I played against and with one of my teammates. His name is the Cody Fag.
Oh, no.
Really good wide receiver, Quincy Shanks. Grew up with a guy who got 2 Super Bowl championships out of Rickards High School, went to Louisville. His name is William Gay. Another kid went to Gabi, I believe, played at Syracuse, named Lindell Bimbo. From out of Tallahassee. And boy, I was in stitches before I knew. Like, Will came up with me, so we were just like, yo, you gay. But then, like, I think if I remember correctly, it was a scrimmage where they were like, Fag made the tackle on Gay. It was just like, yo, whoa, you can't say that. Yeah, like, you know, these, but play the Key and Peele skit. So again, but this is fucking funny because it's real life. That's the best comedy.
College players in the nation showcase their skills in a classic showdown between East and West. And there really are some characters on this year's squads, aren't there, Jeff?
That's right, Dave. It does seem like the most flamboyant personalities came to the forefront, and they are here. Let's meet the players from the East.
DeMarcus Williams, University of Georgia.
TJ Jackson, Wayne State University.
Javarius Smith-King, Merrimack College.
Kyle Royal, Smoochie Wallace, University of Miami.
Desquarius Green Jr., University of Notre Dame.
Ibrahim Moises, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Jack Marius Tack-Theratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings
It's funny
Clyde,
because this
Coastal
kid is
Carolina
old.
University.
The Jasper
And
Probencrux
if you're really
III,
a fan,
South Carolina State University.
it was
Leo's
is wild again. If white people did this, they would be getting crushed, right? Not because of the names, but I'm here to tell you that it's not racist if it's true. It's more of a descriptor. A lot of these motherfuckers can't talk. By their name lets you know. I don't know what Cavassier Smoke looks like. I just remember he transferred. General Booty probably can talk because he's white. I know that for a fact. The realest and the coldest, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're probably not Rhodes Scholars. And while they probably do have loving family, and I'm sure their mothers are great people, anybody who goes to a doctor and says, I want to name my kid the coldest, I'm pretty sure they live in zone 1. Like right now, like I'm not, just no disrespect. I'm just you don't see a lot of those in Ponte Vedra. That's all I'm saying. I've never met a the coldest on the lacrosse field. I can. It's almost like some of the names, like Tyrone. If I see a white Tyrone, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, I need to take a picture with you because there ain't many of you left." Or a white Jerome. I know there have been, but I'm just saying, like it's not racist if it's a descriptor. And some things are just, you know, descriptors, but that shit is funny as fuck. But also with college football, though, coming in, a lot of lists, Twitter, but this is really probably one of the more exciting draft classes for quarterbacks coming into the season. Now, the one cool thing, the only consistent thing in all of this is none of this is going to be true at the end of the season, but it's fun to watch now. So you got a lot of superstars. You got Caleb Williams coming out, Drake May, Quinn Ewers, who's, I don't understand why they like him, Riley Leonard, Spencer Rattler, not understanding it. Bo Nix, I understand he's kind of made himself better. Joe Milton, Michael Penix Jr., Shadur Sanders, Jaden Daniels, KJ Jefferson, Jordan Travis. You've got guys like Drake May being compared to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, who lost 2 games between high school and college. Drake May lost more games last year than Trevor in his whole life. Caleb Williams is being compared to Patrick Mahomes. It's a lot of comparisons to NFL GMs and scouts have made a lot of comparisons to a lot of these young men, and quarterbacks kind of dictate how we look at the sport and a lot of the energy that's going on. Another thing, again, I'm a little afraid to talk about this because all right, Miles, what I want you to do is go look at the next link under that, and I just want us to post a picture. And before I say this young man, not that the next link, in the email, right under that one. It should be another rookie watch. No, that was Trey's. But his dad is a Hall of Famer, if I remember correctly. Also a goon. I think he shot somebody. Now that's Kirby. It should be right above that. But I'm gonna post this picture real quick, and I just want y'all to just show the picture real quick. I don't know if everybody knows who this is. I'll explain who this is, but listen, man. This is what I forgot to talk about it. This is what makes it what Josh Pate put out. Josh Pate basically asked, does Mike Norvell get pretty privilege? Like, is he being given the benefit of the doubt because he's pretty? When pretty don't matter in the NFL. Pretty don't matter in football. All that matters is winning. The ugliest teammates I have got some of the finest, prettiest women. You know why? Because the motherfuckers was good. This young man right here looks like every stereotype that that they post. When I saw it, I was just like, yo, whoa, man, you gotta do not. It's like my boy Big No 936. We seen a picture of him. We like, yo, you gotta warn us before you put a picture like that in the group chat. We have children. Don't want to open that around kids, man, because you might startle them. But this is Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best wide receivers in the nation. He's reportedly thought to be on another level than Jamar Chase. He's comparable to Randy Moss as a prospect. It reminds him of Justin Jefferson. These are the names. Believe Harrison is almost already a lock to go top 5. Some people are even saying that he's a perfect prospect. And you know how much ass he's probably going to get. So listen, I'm telling you, fellas, be great. If you're great, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And a great way to be great is to listen to other people. Because here's another unhandsome guy that wins and gets all the privileges and everything. That's Kirby Smart. Love Kirby. But Kirby talks about the cost of leadership, and I like listening to guys who are successful talk about how to be successful. So that's the video with the white coach. Yeah, right here. It's crazy to look at Kirby now because I remember when Kirby was young. It's probably people gonna say this to me, but like he is.
You will have to make.
But there's some bars in this. Go ahead, run that. He's the head coach of Georgia.
We truly want to be honest and upfront about leadership. You can't ignore the cost of leadership. Great leaders are willing to accept those costs. Number one, you will have to make hard decisions that negatively affect people you care about. Number two, you will be disliked. despite your best attempt to do the best for the most. And number three, you will be misunderstood and won't always have the opportunity to defend yourself. We truly want to be honest and upfront about leadership.
I wanted to use that because it goes to something that I've said in here numerous times. Wasn't an original thought, but it came from Mike Tyson things. Great men aren't good, but good men aren't great. Typically, great men are remembered. And unfortunately, we live in a society where we value the great. And again, you look at anything, look at anything you want to look at. MLK is consensus. Can we all say he's probably a great guy, right? Yeah, you're right. So that's why I gotta go to Indianapolis. I don't want no smoke, man. I don't want no smoke. He really Aqib Talib in real life, Marvin Harrison Jr. But Marvin Harrison Sr., excuse me. MLK was a serial adulterer. He was an alcoholic. He was a lot of stuff. They're about to do a Bayard Rustin film, and he talks about a lot of these stuff. He's the guy who's basically behind, a gay person was behind a lot of the civil rights things that we know and love. Which kind of, actually, now that I think about it, when all the people say that there's an LGBT component to like all of the African-American achievements and all those things, like, damn, it ain't helping. But it was good that he did it, but like he needed Rustin, and Rustin's a great person. So like, yeah. But I deal with this all the time. You make hard decisions that negatively affect people you care about. Like you work hard. And then what happens is people will guilt trip you, but you have to always, what I always tell people, you like the things that I'm able to do though. It's typically what Kirby's really, you know who Kirby's taking a shot at right now? His old lady. And his kids. Because they're them the only ones who really get upset with you. But then you're like, but you like that trip that you was able to go on. It's kind of like DeSuze and Mero when they got on, they broke down DJ Envy and his wife talking about that's not the I don't know Envy's real name, but that's not the Envy I know. He's like, but you knew them checks though. Like, Envy got mad at him, but that's just again, coaches will make decisions that negatively affect the people that they care about. You'll be disliked despite your best attempts to do the best for the most, and you'll be misunderstood and won't always have a chance to defend yourself. That is actually really good advice for those who want to be great. I really wish that certain institutions would take heed to that. Embrace the bad. Embrace what comes with it. Take every opportunity to make it into a teachable moment, but also a moment to vault you into the spotlight. So if you go into the next group things, there was a major issue that happened on Friday. Might have been Thursday. And it keeps happening to FAMU. FAMU knows how to keep themselves in the fucking spotlight. Last year was the girl with the big ass that took a picture in front of the fountain or the snake or whatever it was. They held her diploma because she broke no law, no rules. Nobody was harmed, but they said it was about the university and the honor. So what did they do so they tried to set precedent by withholding a girl who graduated diploma for breaking no rule except for it feels like it embarrassed the university. Then a girl took a picture in front of a picture in a bathing suit in a fountain that I didn't even know FAMU had. They made national headlines because of how they responded. What old black heads have not figured, that's probably a better way to say it, but what black people have not figured out right now is sometimes the best response is no response. So here's what happened to FAMU and why they made national headlines again. And everybody's going to be talking about it this week because you haven't figured out that you don't speak on this shit when the weekend happens, because all you're going to do is make it national headlines over the weekend. And you know what happens on Monday? Everybody who couldn't talk about it over the weekend has to now talk about it. And now you'll have a response and you're going to keep getting shitted on, whether good or bad. But if you wouldn't have done anything, or you would have handled it in the house, nobody would know about this. Miles, you know who Boston Richie is? Okay. A lot of people don't. Boston Richie is an up-and-coming Southern rapper from Tallahassee, Houghton Street Projects, to be exact, right around the corner from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Yeah, you would think Boston Richie would be from Boston, but whatever. He's got a song with Jeezy kind of about a year ago. He made a what was the put 2 million up was the song. Him and Jeezy got on a remix of that. It was hot, whatever. Boston Richie's doing this thing. Boston Richie has, obviously, when you're young, it's another guy, Lil Tyler, who's a lot younger. But what happens is rappers end up making friends with athletes. It happens. So, allegedly, he got with some football players, and they went into the locker room in athletics, and they filmed a music video. And I actually did send it to you. Yeah, just the video. And it's getting mixed reviews, but I get it. It's rap, right? It's misogynistic, talking about selling drugs, chicks doing stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And oh my God, all of the righteous people, a lot of which are doing not very much with their lives, talked about how embarrassing this was for the university. And one thing that always happens with HBCU people, they talked about it with the naked girl. They talked about it with the girl in the pool. You know what they always say? You wouldn't do this at a PWI. But a little research will show that this is actually something that's being common. And I'm going to just show you what a little research can do with you on my show. But bottom line is, if you can go down, it's the last, I think it's an IG link in that list. And that'll be the Boston Richie video. Because I think I'm gonna tell you what should have happened. If you click over, actually, IG probably ain't gonna play the noise, is it? Damn it. All right, so we may have to go play that other guy. Boston Richie is the guy's name. But you know, he's in the Florida, he's got a FAMU polo shirt on, he's got a helmet on, he's got a bunch of other stuff, and everybody's gonna be like, was it licensed? Was it approved? Y'all do know that like Lil Tyler has a FSU shirt. You can buy the shit and wear it in the music video, and nobody's gonna say anything. And I was wondering if YouTube took it down, but not sure. But I don't want to play the whole. Yeah, just play a little bit of it. I thought he was kind of sliding a little bit, but you know, I think that's the proper use of the term. I don't want to be like these old curmudgeons that are upset the panties are in the wad. I do agree with them with some of the stuff that they're saying.
Wake up, go on, send a blitz. Fuck it on like La Holmes. Every day got a brand new bitch. Nigga, I'm tired of going home. Told that hoe don't speak on shit. Bitch, you in a quiet zone. Quit to swipe a bitch up by my mix. My windshield wipers on. Bitch say she gon' pay me to suck that dick. She don't turn me on. Talking to the pussy, that freaky shit like I'm on a microphone. I was out here paving the way when Dot was out here swiping phones. You can't come to Ridge Road.
So, I get it if you don't like rap. I don't have a problem with this. What we would have not known. So I saw the video first. I was like, yeah, shouldn't have happened. I'm pretty sure nobody got clearance. But then immediately after this is when it became news, July 21st. Earlier today, it was brought to my attention that a rap video was shot by a prominent rapper in the football locker room of Gallimore Powell Fieldhouse without proper authorization. The video contained graphic language that is not consistent with FAMU's core values, principles, and beliefs, and an internal investigation is underway to determine who authorized the use of not only the athletic facility, but also licensed apparel that potentially violates university branding and licensing agreements. Although I am proud proponent of free speech and support all forms of musical expression, this football team has a responsibility to protect the university's image. As a result of this unfortunate situation, as head coach, I am effectively suspending all football-related activities until further notice. It is a privilege to wear orange and green. In a football program, our young men have failed to live up to the standards set before us. They will all learn from this mishap, and we will continue to work hard every day to become the best version of Rattlers. We'll go try to find that one. That was the that was head coach Willie Simmons that I just read. what we have posted right now is from President Larry Robinson. I am aware of the unauthorized music video shot on our campus, and I am asking for the immediate investigation to determine how it happened. The video does not represent our core values, nor our commitment to excellence with caring in all aspects of the university, including athletics. And then there is another one from the Tiffany Sykes, the athletic director. Show up. Let me click on that again. There we go. I do not have all the information I need to make a complete and informed statement about the situation at this time. What I do know is what was portrayed in the video is inconsistent with my expectations of FAMU student athletes. While I am disappointed, this isolated incident does not define FAMU athletics. I am committed to working with campus partners to gather as much information as possible, as quickly as possible, support Coach Simmons' swift disciplinary action, and I am committed to educating our student athletes so that missteps like this do not happen. You know what happens when a university makes a statement? And a university makes a statement that they are suspending all football activities. You know what that does? Especially when football season is right around the corner. A situation that nobody knew about, now everybody fucking knows about. Now it's shining a light. A lot of people didn't know who Boston Richie was. They sure as hell know who the fuck Boston Richie is now. And let's talk about it. Let's discuss, let's digest all of this. FAMU, while it is a prestigious university and is a notable university and a lot of great things happen, I happen to love FAMU. FAMU got a lot bigger issues going on and they need to worry about this, in particular in athletics. You just had a situation where you had over 20 players suspended for academic reasons that you blame two white ladies that worked in athletic and academic offices who were exonerated by the NCAA and rehired by the new athletic director, and they still have fucking academic problems. The other side of it is, do you know what almost happens at every university in the nation a week before they start camp? I will tell you, they don't fucking show up to work. There are no workouts. So even in all of this, this is a save face because you weren't having workouts this week anyway. So all you did, and this is the problem with the black community, is you had a symbolic gesture of what looked like was discipline because you're not mad at the kids. You're fucking aggravated that the old heads are mad who don't remember what it was like when they were in college. I don't want to hear that shit, Tiffany. You ain't that much older than me. 25 years ago, you was backing that ass up probably at a HBCU homecoming. Just like with the girl with the big ass, I know the person who suspended her. I know him very fucking well, and I happen to know he likes big asses. There is a bitch right now sucking dick on OnlyFans with a FAMU sweatshirt on, and you ain't going to stopping that. I got on FSU apparel right now, and I'd be damned if FSU comes to me and tells me that I can't wear apparel that I fucking paid for. Talking about you could potentially lose if LeBron James, who's their Nike deal, would have pulled the fucking endorsement deal from FAMU over a rap song when it is known that LeBron listens to rap that's way more ratchet than that. Do you know how bad he would look? And you know what FAMU legal would have been able to do? They'd have been able to get all that money from that fucking deal and then signed another deal with somebody in a heartbeat. The reality of the situation is your response is the reason why everybody knows and everybody is looking at it. And had you just let legal do their job, here's what I know, and Miles can attest to this. There's some things in there that we joked about that we're going to have to take out from YouTube because YouTube don't play about licensing. Damn, you could have sent a letter to YouTube, and you know what YouTube would have done? They would have pulled that shit. Easy peasy. There is no more rap video. You know what a PWI would have done? That or what a PWI would have done, would figure out how to get it fucking cleared so they don't have the headache. Let's see what happens when the PWI does clear something. Maz, if you can go find that other video. And I have no idea who this rapper is. It's somebody on the West Coast. And before you go into all of the honor, you're not bigger than Oregon football. Oregon is a Nike program, just like Nike, just like FAMU is. And yeah, play this. I have no idea who this person is. But here's what happens. That is like, they love to say this wouldn't fly at the PWI. Well, here's a fucking PWI. She hanging out with some cats on the FAMU football team. They actually brought other unauthorized people into the Oregon's facilities. And y'all worried about what Uncle Phil going to do? By the way, for those who are going to listen on SoundCloud, you'll be able to hear all of these things. Those who are going to go back and watch this on YouTube, you know what I'm going to have to do? Probably get rid of all of this shit. Because, and you know what you're not going to do? It's not going to make national headlines. It's just the way fucking business is done. And the problem is so many of y'all have fucking opinions on things that you have never dealt with, never will deal with, and you really don't care. Because if you cared as much about FAMU as you talk about, FAMU wouldn't have NIL issues. They wouldn't have had a player that had to do a grad transfer to your rival in Jackson State, who was one of the best D linemen in the in HBCU ball, because he couldn't afford to live. He was living with his girlfriend. You wouldn't have academic situations where they say damn near half of your team currently is ineligible. You're a school that had that still has major hazing issues. You're a school that still has a lot of other issues and a lot of bigger fucking issues to worry about. And you people who, and I say you people, and I mean it just like the racist white people, you people who go to these HBCUs and talk about your pride. You are a 4-year visit. You don't donate. You don't come back unless it's the homecoming, where guess who's you know who performed at homecoming last year? Boston fucking Richie. All you want to do is wear your colors, sing them damn Negro spiritual, and talk about I'm so proud I'm at FAMU. But you don't do shit for the university. I would have made that boy give the university a little bit of money, and we would have rolled with it. Something else that can be done. I had somebody say they didn't like it because it was the vulgarity. Cool with it. Hey, Boston, you guys didn't get clearance. Here's how we can get clearance, and we'll do you a solid in another video. Can you strip the audio and put a clean version on that, and you can keep it? Because you can do it. You can do it through fucking YouTube Studio. It's real easy. But nope. You decided to really put all your bullshit out there that nobody really cared about. But it was a calculated risk. He didn't get clearance. He didn't go in and didn't do it the right way. But at the end of the day, I wonder how many views he has. What's the name of the song? I'll just put Boston Richie, because obviously the shit. Oh, Send a Blitz. 402 views, 402,000 views. So he's probably going to make a million views on this. So you're going to give him about 70K. Not you personally, but YouTube will give him about 70K once it gets the full thing. It's because it's going to make ESPN. It's going to make other headlines. So like, it's going to get popular. Thanks. Boston Richie couldn't pay for that kind of publicity. All you had to do is just shut the fuck up. But it was calculated. Calculated risk happened all the time in the music industry, and nobody's more calculated than some country music singers. Jason Aldean didn't do it at a it's funny because here's the thing that's consistent with all races. Everybody says try that here, or that wouldn't happen there, or this thing, that, the other. And Jason Aldean has a song called Try That in a Small Town. That's made a lot of waves. A lot of people are upset about it on both sides. But he knew what would happen when you kick over this anthill. Nothing but profit. It has soared to the top of the charts because there are people who are listening to it to condemn it. And there are people who are listening to it to say, don't you condemn it. We love our small town. Now, the irony of all of this is Jason Aldean is not from a small town. He's from Macon, Georgia. If Macon, Georgia is a small town, and Tallahassee, Florida is a small town. It's not Boston, but it's not, but it ain't Penny Farms, Florida. And even Homestead, another place where he lived at, is a part of the Miami Metro. So you're literally 5 steps from a big populace. He also went to a private school. He is I'm more country than he is. But this is Jason. In the past 24 hours, I've been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song and was subject to comparisons that was not too pleased with the nationwide Black Lives Matter protest. As pointed out, I was at Route 91 where so many lost their lives. Route 91 was a concert where senseless tragedy happened. And to sum it up, Small Town is a song basically saying we treat police officers right here in a small town. You don't come here with that, basically you're protesting and things like that because we'll take care of our own in a small town. It's like basically life is great in Mayberry. And I got really no true problems with that except for it's false. This is the equivalent of when black people say you wouldn't do that in my hood. Or why would you do that here? And things of that nature. It's a false equivalence. You know why you won't get BLM protests in a small town? Have you looked at the demographics in your small town? That's probably why. You're not practicing e pluribus unum in a small town. On top of that, there's crime in small towns. That's why you have sheriffs. That's why you have jails. They were talking about, they try to bring up the thing that's really fictional. Like it's wild what people like so people will bring up, they hate COVID, right? Because not enough people died from it. But they talk about the what was the sneak punching thing that people were doing about a decade ago. Where they were running up and just hitting people. And they painted it as a black thing, but like if you really go back and you look at the roots, it's happened to black people way more in small towns, way more than it's ever happened to white people. But it was something that was amplified, and it's a dog whistle. But a lot of these songs boost up a sense of pride. Black people have it in my hood stuff, but like this is like, so he brought up Route 91 because what I have an issue with is this, because that's why black people talk about, I have a hood mentality, a hood work ethic, excuse me. I work like I'm going back, like I'm afraid to go back. And if these people would have this small town, like we want to protect it in the big city, maybe the big cities would be better. But Jason Aldean brought up Route 91. Jason Aldean was literally on stage, right, with a microphone performing when the shooting happened. And do you know what he did not do? He didn't say, hey, guys, it's a shooting, duck. This man dropped his mic and fucking ran. He didn't even alert the people. Didn't even alert the people. But you want me to believe that in a small town, your small town lying ass would actually defend somebody? You didn't defend. You didn't even give a Paul Revere. The British are coming. All you did was you ran for your safety. Rightfully so. I've been around gunshots before. It's not a safe space. But at the same time, I hate this false narrative of a good guy with a gun because it doesn't happen. You know what happened in a small town? You know what was a small town? About a year ago in Texas. Was it Uvalde? Is that how you say it? I forgot how you pronounce it. Police officers in a small town didn't go save little kids. They tried that in a small town. Shit worked. And I'm not saying this to really like be braggadocious on. I just think it's a false thing. And you knew that it was going to make you some bread, Jason. And what I don't like, there's two things I don't like. I don't like fake apologies, and I don't like people who throw stones and hide their hands. You knew, I joke about it. I know if I've been decently successful enough at how I'm doing it now. But I do know if I ever wanted to chase a quick bag, I would so go to Candace Owens route and Jason Whitlock route. I just know the money's good over, and I could do it seamlessly because I am a Black Republican, and I have some of their values, and I do share some of those things. But I have a problem with hypocrisy, so I call it out on both sides. But Jason knew exactly what he was going to do. You made that song. You just made a national anthem for millions and millions of people, and everybody's so worried about the cancel culture that doesn't exist. If cancel culture existed, he would not be on the top of the charts and probably making millions of dollars off of exploiting the division. That song wasn't "Welcome to My Small Town." You ever notice that a lot of the songs don't feel like, them protests wouldn't happen in my small town because we give everybody peach pie. It's not that. We're so nice in my small town that you're going to want to come down. You want to hang out. Nah, it's not that. It's never, try this in the small town. We'll whoop your ass in the small town. All right. And those same people blame hip hop lyrics, right? But you go and listen to some of the rap lyrics. You know where I don't want to go? I don't want to go to his, whatever small town he fake claiming, no more than I want to go to O Block. You know why I don't want to go to O Block? And I'm sure there's some great people who live in O Block in Chicago. But I've heard some good rap songs about you don't go to O Block. None of this shit is welcoming. Like, why is it just like, man, we got the best peach cobbler? Miss Mary Jane makes a shepherd's pie that'll blow your mind. In my small town, it's never that. It's, we don't want, no, you come stir your trouble up in my small town. It's like a fucking erotic wet dream of trying to find trouble. But as I said before, tough guys don't go looking to prove how tough they are. But I just wanted, the reason why I use those correlations is because, again, I want Black people to realize I'm around enough white people to be able to tell you that there's some similarities in all of us that we don't really know, that y'all may not be aware of. This ain't nothing but welcome to my hood for country music people. And I'm a capitalist. I just laugh at this shit because I know he making bank on it. And what's crazy is this man don't even like it. You want to know the big irony in all of this? Is that he wrote a song a few years ago about how much he hated his small town, how much he hated small towns, and how he was ready to leave. You know what's similar to that? Motherfuckers who from the hood may love their hood, but they don't want to go back to their hood either. So country music people got the same problem. That rap country music singers and rappers are basically the same. Just you're singing it with a twang. That's why Old Town Road did so well. Also, if you go look at the Google's the Pornhub searches in a lot of these small towns, the reason why Old Town Road did so good, you know, what was the movie that they did? Why can't I quit you with Brokeback Mountain? Brokeback Mountain was a small town. Everything that you typically hate and that it's projection. And if you just spend a little bit of time trying to get to learn why a lot of this shit happens, you will succeed in not looking like a dick when you don't need to. And I'm sure Jason Aldean is a good person whose bank account is a little bit healthier now because he wrote the song Small Town. And it wasn't so much that the song was written 5 months ago. It was the video that used false images. They used images of things with Black people in Germany. The few Black people in Germany were rioting because they weren't done right. And he tried to pose that as Black Lives Matters protest. Like, you didn't use imagery of just what makes your small town so great. You used imagery of of stereotypes that people have of big cities from small towns that make you think that they're not that great. But I like small towns. Well, some of these people singing this live in sundown towns, but you got to go do your research on some of that. They love them towns too. They don't really love us so much. But like, I love going like to Thomasville, Georgia. I love going to Perry. I love going to Madison County. Jefferson County, Florida is a very small town. They got a place called Chicken Delight. Really good. Some of the best fried chicken I've ever eaten in my life. I might go by there today. But let's not forget that a lot of people are trying to leave small towns to go to big cities. And a lot of people in big cities hate it. I hate big cities too. That's why I like Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the largest small town in America. It's a lot of space, a lot of people, but not a lot. Ironically, I hope Jason is okay because he suffered a heat stroke in Connecticut, not a small town. Not a small town in Connecticut. Just hopefully he was able to get some good medical treatment in a big town. Last but not least, I want to update on a story again. We talked about Northwestern football. Oh my goodness. The group of former Northwestern football players are working with civil rights attorney Ben Crump and the Chicago law firm 11 and Perconti. They will announce their lawsuit against the school Monday. The complaint will include named plaintiffs with horrific details. Compliant identifies one Northwestern football coach who allegedly witnessed the hazing and sexual conduct and failed to report it. Other coaches and staff accused of disregarding obvious raucous hazing and sexual acts. The complaint also will state that 2 assistant coaches were hazed in similar ways. I don't know if there's any job that I would want enough to have somebody do butt stuff to me. But I'll say this. We're 700 back short. So I need everybody who loves FAMU and loves the South Side of Tallahassee, even if this Boston Richie, I'm with you, bro. Shout out to Tallahassee. Anybody who's stepping up and trying to stand out for Tallahassee, I will always support, even if I don't like your music. Not saying that about you. I'm just saying if you're doing the big things, I love putting the city on the map. Would love for you to come out to the book bag drive. If anybody knows them, tell them to reach out. We're right around the corner from Holton Street. A lot of you people who so proud, love FAMU, love the city. One thing I want people to remember, and the reason why I'm so hard, is that what makes the Black experience at these HBCUs is the communities in which these HBCUs happen to be in. You're in the hood. You're in the Black area. You're accepted by the Black area. Don't let your visit get you fucked up. Because a lot of y'all come and you take a piece of the culture from that city in that area and you take it somewhere else and it's only on the t-shirt. You don't take that sauce. You don't brag about everywhere you've been at. A lot of people don't even know you at HBCUs until it's cool to be out. So all you think piece motherfuckers, make sure you out here really providing real good stuff. And if you want the change and you want to see it be so great, then come and do some shit and hold accountable for the shit that actually is something. The kids weren't doing nothing but having fun. The last story I'll give you, how I know a response is the no response is the best response. Bobby Bowden, all-time winningest coach. We literally had ESPN at our school doing a documentary for us on the entire season. It's called oh man, it was supposed to be 2 hours if we would have won a national championship. We would have played a national championship. It was 1 hour at the end of my freshman year. My freshman year, and I've talked about this before, we had a citywide paintball fight with airsoft guns. Very dangerous. Bobby told us to stop. He didn't go to social media. He didn't go to ESPN. He didn't go anywhere else. Matter of fact, the Larry Campbell, the former sheriff, told him, hey, your boys are being, you know, Larry Campbell, they say maybe a little racist. I don't know. I never had a bad experience with him. But he probably said your little colored boys is being crazy. And we were. Bobby told us, stop it. If I hear you doing it again, you're going to be in trouble. So we did it again. Do you know what Bobby didn't do? Because if he did this, the old man was smart enough to realize this would cause a national scene. He did not suspend football-related activities. He did not suspend us for one practice. Because winning is important. To quote Willie Simmons, if you're winning football games, nobody cares about the other things such as APR and other stuff. This is what he said when the other Willie Taggart got fired, which is ironic. But he did make us do 500 up downs. In full pads, 2-a-day practices right before our first practice. And you know what we didn't do anymore? We didn't have no more paintball fights. Paintball wars were done. Just some free, but again, to quote my Black people, it's how they do it at the PWIs. Since y'all always want to gauge yourself on what white people do. One thing that white people have gotten away with, 4-5 helped us, is respectability politics. I promise you, you are not going to win playing the respectability politics game. I want to read this. I can't see that. You can read that put on that real quick just before we finish up. I just really don't understand a lot of this shit. No, actually, what did Lisa say? That's my own way. I always love Lisa. I know. He sang it. Most people don't write their songs. Most rappers, most musicians don't write the songs they do, but they sing it. And I have no problem with any of that. What I have a problem is him acting like he don't know what the fuck was going on. It's kind of like, Tracy Chapman is the first African-American woman to have a song top the country music charts because somebody sang her song Fast Car that she made back in the 80s, but they put a little country twang on it. So, I get that. But she's getting a little bit of the benefit, but the person who's saying it is getting a lot of bit of the benefit because they got it cleared. So it's not so much, again, I'm not mad. I make your bread. It was great PR and a great way to use capitalism. But read what Tanisha said about FAMU. But on that note, happy Monday. Please push the like button on your way out. If you haven't, give me a little share, retweet. Doesn't cost you anything unless you're a hater. This weekend, JamesColemanGivesBack.com. Make sure you go register to volunteer, get a book bag or for the camp, donate some money. I appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. I will see you guys on my birthday. That's the next time I'll be 39 years old the next show. So holla at me.